Wake the fuck up!
Okay, so this time we did the math. We asked our scientists, checked in with some mathematicians. This one's 12.
I'm checking because I don't believe you.
Am I copium?
I legitimately don't know.
I'm 99% sure because I think we called last week 12, and then I was doing the editing, and I was like, "Where's 11 at?" I was like, "I don't have your 11 recording, and I had your 11 recording, but I didn't have your 12." You sent me your 11, and then I looked, and the last one I edited was 10. I was like, "Oh no."
That's what it was for me too. Was I went to save the recording, and I was like, "Hold on a minute."
I was like, not only did I mess up, and we had to restart that last recording 3 times, but then we also, for the entirety of the first 2 minutes of the other 2 recordings, and then for the entirety of that recording, I guess we probably only mentioned it was 12,
a few times.
Yeah, but
it wasn't so bad, but we just thought that we were on that episode for the whole time, so yeah. I thought it was a funny title.
But we'll clear it up right now. You're not in the Matrix. You're not having a deja vu moment. This one is 12. It's 12. It will be... I'm not going to say today's date, because then that'll throw you guys off, and you'll think I'm lying. January 26th. You'll be in this.
Or you could be listening to it anytime after.
That is true. Yeah, no. It could be 2025 right now, and you're sitting in your grandpa's flying jacuzzi listening to us.
That's a really not distant future for what sounds like a really distant future item you decided to choose there.
Yeah, I guess so. But I just watched Blade Runner yesterday, and I'm pretty sure they had it set in the year 2019, and they had flying cars. I don't think I don't think we're there yet. I think that's the funny thing is now you can watch 70s and 80s or even 60s movies that are sci-fi. Or at least have sci-fi elements, and they're set in the future. And they've got all these crazy things like flying cars, and we're living on different planets, and it's bro, we got the metaverse coming, that's about it.
In the year 2022, we're going to have chips in our brain.
Well, we also have hexagonal profile pictures for NFT owners on Twitter, so we're getting there.
Oh, big day. Big day for all those guys.
Big week.
My favorite reply to that was somebody had let me see, I gotta get I don't want to misquote Twitter Blue, which is their bad paid service to try and monetize Twitter, but they know who their gullible people are, I guess. With these NFT profile pictures they decided to launch only with their paid membership. Yeah, they'll get people to buy it.
Oh, that's what it is? They're paid memberships?
So it's part of Twitter Blue, which is their paid membership that they launched very quietly with no good extra features except undoing a tweet for a little bit after, which isn't an edit button, by the way, which is really weird that they didn't even give what people wanted after all.
So you're telling me if I write the instead of the, I have to delete the whole fucking tweet? I can't just edit it?
Yeah, but they say, you asked a lot, so we made it. Now rolling out in labs. NFT profile pictures on iOS. And somebody searched on all of Twitter and said, I wish Twitter made NFT profile pictures and there were no tweets. Which is very funny.
Oh, because
why would you... Nobody is asking for it.
No. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I don't... Because I guess I wanted to make it so you can't just right-click and save it, but I can still, on mobile, press my power and home button and screenshot it. So,
yeah, then you can just edit it and... Yeah. It's not too hard.
No. Not hard at all.
If I want your NFT that bad, I'll keep screenshotting it. You can't stop me, Twitter. So
there's no good NFT anyway, so...
I don't know about that. I've seen some pretty cool apes. 9gag had an ape as their profile picture, and I'm really considering unfollowing them on all my social media now. But they have a few good clickbait articles, so I don't.
That's how you know it'll go too far, is when the brands have NFT profile pictures.
Yeah, that's what they said. They're like, we're in on NFTs now, and I'm like, you shouldn't be. I don't like that. As a rational consumer who cannot afford an NFT and just likes to see your clickbait articles, I'm not with this. Like this is how I knew they had the NFT, was I saw it in their profile picture. But they like posted an article that said Bong Joon-ho, the guy who, if you don't know, won an Oscar for directing, or I think he won a couple Oscars for Parasite. It was a very good movie. You should watch it if you haven't. And if you can't get over the issue of it being subtitles, you're missing out on a lot of good movies. But he's doing a thriller, and it's got Robert Pattinson. So, see, I definitely wouldn't know. Well,
that's all you need.
I guess maybe eventually I would probably see a trailer or something and decide that I want to see it. But that really is all I need, because he's done other movies I've watched too. I think he did Train to Busan. I'm pretty sure he might have done Snowpiercer. I'm pretty sure he did. Which is a movie with Chris Evans that you should watch if you haven't yet. But so once a director has a couple of good hits, I'll watch anything they put out. Jordan Peele, we got Get Out and Us, and once that, I can't remember what it's supposed to be called, but I know it's got Keke Palmer, Daniel Kaluuya, and
I think it's just Nope.
Nope. Yep, that is what it is. The movie's called Nope. I wasn't doing the Midwestern thing where you go, no, yeah. I was saying it's Nope, and then comma, yep.
Yeah, that one I'll definitely go see. But I don't know. I haven't seen any of Bong Joon-ho's stuff, so.
You haven't watched Parasite?
I never watched Parasite, no.
I think it's good. I think you should watch it.
I just need to start watching more movies, dude.
Yeah, I watched 2 or 3 over the past couple days. I watched Blade Runner yesterday, and then I think a couple days ago I got off work early and I watched Taxi Driver, which was not too bad. I didn't really like the ending all that much, and then I watched The Florida Project, and I loved that whole movie until like the last 2 minutes, and I hated the way he ended it. I looked up an article and it was like, okay, like I get it. I think it's supposed to be like an imagination scene, because I guess if you really, really don't want to know how The Florida Project ends, skip ahead like 30 seconds or a minute, but it's basically this little girl is getting taken away from her mom. DCF gets called, and she finds out, the little girl does, that she's going to live with this other family for DCF, and she might not ever see her mom again. So she runs away, gets away from the DCF officers, and they live in these really crappy motels in Florida, and she goes to another one of her friends' motels, one of the younger kids. They're all like, I don't know, I'd say under 10 or around 10 years old. And she starts crying. It's the first time she really acts like a kid in that movie. She starts crying. She's like, they're going to take me away from my mom, and I just wanted to say bye before I leave. And then it switches to this very, very worse camera type of, I can't think of the word. Camera quality. That'd be the word. And they run away to Disney World. And they just start walking around Disney World. And that's how it ends. But I found out he had to use the iPhone because of, it's like, you can't film in their park, I guess. Or maybe, I suppose it probably just costs a lot of money. And he didn't want to do that, so he just shot it like they were a family on vacation.
That's wild.
But I didn't like the ending, because it's this whole story about how she kind of just gets to do whatever she wants. The kid does. Mm-hmm. And the mom just like doesn't really do anything. She's tried to get a job. She goes out and sells perfume in parking lots to make ends meet. So it's kind of a sad movie, but it's also really kind of interesting to just see that from the perspective of they follow the kid the whole time, and she's just literally like doing whatever she wants. And Willem Dafoe's in it, so big plus. Big plus in my book.
Yeah, interesting. I've never even heard of that one.
I hadn't heard of it from anybody. I just always saw it on Netflix for the past year or two, and I wanted to to kind of watch it. Finally had the time and sat down on Netflix looking for stuff, and it piqued my interest. So, yeah, I'll check that out. So it wasn't too bad.
Then you check that out.
What'd you do with your week this week? I guess that's mostly what I did, apart from
my week,
driving thousands of miles across the U.S.
That's what we got to talk about, Dan. That's what I've been waiting for.
Is for that to get brought up.
Yes, sir. We for the uninvolved of that.
I would say uninformed.
It started.
Uncultured, if you don't know what
like Wednesday or Thursday. I was talking to Dan, as I typically do when I'm just playing video games, doing nothing, you know. And this dude starts talking about Truck Simulator, and so naturally, I just start fucking giving him shit because he's playing Truck Simulator. Like, what the hell is that all about? And then eventually, he starts saying how it's $5, and I say, well, I don't really want to spend $5 on that. And then this motherfucker starts poor shaming me.
I wasn't poor shaming you.
You were poor shaming.
There's no way.
You said you don't have $5 to spend on Truck Simulator, and I was like, come on.
That's
man.
not poor shaming you.
Up.
What are you gonna spend? What are you gonna spend $5 on? Are you really that pressured? You have $20 in your account.
I
have
could
to decide between groceries or buying Truck Simulator.
It was Truck Simulator or McDonald's after work that day, Dan, and I ended up getting Truck Simulator instead. So I hope you're happy with this.
I am, because you obviously ate healthier and cheaper.
I just think I don't eat. I didn't eat.
I don't eat if I don't eat McDonald's.
I just think I don't eat that day.
You should do commercials for McDonald's. That'd be good.
Yeah. Anyway, then I bought Truck Simulator, and I really liked it.
Exactly.
So now Dan and I have both been driving a truck across the western United States.
Yep, mostly California and Arizona, I'd say. A lot of time. I got my home base in Fresno, California, garage, a couple of trucks, driver for me. He's got a 0.8 rating out of 5 stars, so definitely not much.
Holy shit.
Okay, well, my options were he's got hazard placards, so he can drive flammable stuff, and he had the highest rating, and then the other two were just regular drivers.
He had the highest rating?
There was one with 0.3 and one with 0.5.
What in the world?
It was not good. No.
Dude.
You'd also
Jesus.
It's also very real to life, as where when banks hear that you're starting your own business, they get a hold of you about taking out loans. Very quickly.
That's true, actually. I remembered in the game getting email from the bank after I delivered one load ever.
You do your first job, and they're like, "Hey, we see you're starting up your own trucking business. You can take out $100,000 loan," and then you take out $100,000 loan, and they're like, "It's crazy. You actually pre-qualify for a $400,000 loan."
And then you took both of them out, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yep. And then I got a bunch
God.
I think I crashed into somebody really bad. I can't remember what it was. I did a really bad offense that put me $12,000 in the hole. I was like, this isn't good. But
yeah, was it when I ran into you?
No, it was not when you ran into me. That's another thing that you can do. Is you can start a convoy, which is basically you can have, I think, up to 8 players in this same world. You guys are all on the same server, so you're going the same places. Basically, you can go to the same place that somebody's at, and you can mess with them. Or in Parker's case, you can try and run them off the freeway while they're carrying very flammable material behind them.
Oh, look, Dan, I just think you're taking it a little too seriously, you know?
I definitely am, yeah. I want to do good in the game. I don't want to
But just imagine the satisfaction you would have had if I would have ran into that tank and that shit would have exploded.
I did actually find out last night.
That would have been sick as hell.
I did find out after I got off that I can not continue from the point. So I think I would be okay with getting onto a convoy for 5 minutes, and then I'll go pick up a gasoline trailer or something. Mm-hmm. And I'll just sit in the middle of the freeway, and you can come. You can come.
It's for science, man.
I think the funniest thing was Parker and I. We didn't know how it was going to work for sure, so we started a convoy, which like I said, we're all on the same server, and it was we were like, oh man, we really hope we can meet up, because if not, this thing's kind of a wash. And then Parker looked on the map and he could see me, so we met up in the same place. And he drove through a barrier on the freeway to go down the wrong way and tried to crash into me. And it looked like he was on like one side of his truck, like the tires on just one side of his truck. This dude was going at least 70 miles per hour on the freeway.
I definitely, there was a good chance I could have flipped my whole truck and ruined the operation.
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen. But it didn't. You did mess up your truck pretty bad, I think, though.
Yeah, it was ugly, the amount I had to pay.
Yeah.
And then I wrecked it again later, because I was, without a load, I was just going 85 down the freeway, because, like, what else would you do? If I can drive fast, why don't I drive fast? So I was just driving fast, and then I crashed a little bit on the exit ramp and almost fell off the exit ramp.
I think really the appeal of the whole game is you're doing this thing that's essentially like pretty tough to do and pretty tough to end up getting to. Or I mean, it'll take up a good chunk of time because you have to take a test, written test. It's on a computer. You have to study for it, and then you go and take the test. And then, barring that you actually pass the test, you then have to take a driven test. And then you would be doing this stuff all day, every day, with real-life consequences. You know, you run a red light in the game, you get a $480 charge on your fake money in the game. If I run a red light in a Class A truck in real life, not only am I going to catch a hefty fine, I'm probably going to kill somebody. So it's very nice not to have that weight on your shoulders in the fake video game American Truck Simulator.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. I was like, oh, it's ridiculous. But then I got home after working a long shift last night, and I was like, oh, dude, I don't want to do anything right now. And then I saw you guys were on, and I was like, well, I'll get on and talk to them. And I was like, well, while I'm here, like,
well, I think
I might as well just truck a little bit.
I think that's what it is, too, is like, you come home from work, or like, probably today and tomorrow, since I've got long days and nothing to do, I'm going to I'll probably play Apex Legends and some other games where I'll eventually get frustrated, and then I can just go to Truck Simulator, where I don't have to rely on anybody else or my competitive instinct. I'm just driving, you know? I'm just trucking.
Yeah, I think it's really weird. This can be today's shout out to Logan. I think he said, like sometime after some class, or like some homework he had to do or some shit that sucked. But he was like, I think just sometimes I have the fantasy of just quitting college and becoming just a blue collar worker. And I think that's what Truck Simulator fills. Because like, realistically, at least for me, I'm in too deep right now. Like I'm not dropping out of college. But yeah. Like it's nice to have that feeling like, man, I could just do this.
I think for me it's like the building your own business thing. Like you're literally like you're building your own trucking business, and
be your own boss and work from home.
I've never, I don't think, like finished one of those games or gotten to the point where the payoff is really there. I always just stop playing after a while because I'm like, man, it's not worth it. I don't want to build my own business anymore. I'm going to go work for the man.
And then you go on Apex Legends and
yeah.
lose 5 games in a row.
I play as Bloodhound and ping where all the enemies are for my teammates, and then they all die anyways. But Truck Simulator, no enemy pinging, no victory royales, no Apex Champion. Just trucking, baby. I've told you guys I'm going to go get some faded jeans with some holes in them, get a couple of flannels, get a trucker hat. Maybe I'll see if I can buy a trucker horn.
Modify a CV radio and like
well, they have those,
that as a microphone.
They have those servers. We were talking about that. That's the point where I think it goes too far. Is there's role player like servers on there, which I guess to each their own. I guess if you really get that much enjoyment out of it, like do you, but I just couldn't. I don't think I could do that.
That kind of thing in general is weird to me. Just like roleplay servers on like anything. Because I remember when I was in, or like early on in high school, it probably came out when I was in like middle school still. But Overwatch, I played that a ton. And then eventually they came out with custom game servers, and like all it was like role play. Like a bunch of them, I feel like I'd see like role play 18 plus, and it's like, all right,
Yeah,
dude,
you
got some issues. You got some real issues if you are doing an 18 plus role play in Overwatch custom game servers.
Yeah, that's in a competitive esports game or a game that is probably played by younger people. That is an odd thing to have in your custom games.
Yeah.
I imagine they also were not password locked.
Oh, well, anyone could join them, Dan.
Oh my gosh.
If it was private, then what would be the point of showing the age? You just invite the homies. Although if you're doing a role play with the homies, that asks a lot of other questions.
That is true. I will say that I like to imagine that the role play server on Truck Simulator is just a bunch of guys working like big corporate business, and they're on their lunch break. They're all sitting at their desks in their big ivory tower, their big glass building, and they just throw on their trucker hat and they're in their suits for the day.
Oh yeah, dude! Truck Simulator ones, I wouldn't want to join them because I know they'd like expect participation points, right? But like,
I would suppose so.
If I could be like a fly on the wall and just like watch a Truck Simulator one for a little bit, I think I might be like, all right, yeah. I do not want to be a fly on the wall, however, of the 18 plus Overwatch one.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one.
Those can stay a mystery to me.
Yep. No,
but
we don't need
the
those
Truck
ones.
Simulator ones. I'm at least curious. I kind of want to know.
It would be good to see. Should have looked to see who Truck Simulator was made by. Probably owned by Microsoft now after everything that they bought.
Oh yeah, we haven't recorded since that happened.
No, that was huge. How much was it? Like $70 billion?
$70 billion. Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, which
for
was
the guys that make Call of Duty.
they bought. For those of you who don't play as many video games as the rest of us, that's the Call of Duty guys.
Yeah, true.
There's probably at least a couple people in the audience who are just like, oh, okay.
Those guys. Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, it's I mean, I would say it's a pretty good get. They make a lot of stuff. It's just you really have to dig through the rubble to find the gems.
Yeah, you're
in Activision Blizzard.
They've got their work cut out for them. I'll say that much.
Do. Yeah, if you're also in the dark on video game things, I'm pretty sure it was Blizzard, right? Was accused of very, 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 very terrible workplace harassment, especially towards women, which is a very, very awful thing.
They were very credible accusations.
100%, yeah.
So,
yeah. I'm pretty sure there was a woman who took her own life because she was like just consistently harassed. And they were talking about how it's near impossible to move up in the company as a female, and I mean it's just terrible, toxic workplace environment, and which is awful because I mean a lot of places you just have to take whatever you can take in the video game industry as anyone. Just male, female, anything. It's impossible to get into the games industry. So when I think you get that invitation, you kind of just have to take it, and then you get there, and to be treated like that is awful.
Yeah, it is not a great place to work by what it sounds by any means.
No.
So
I would imagine that now that Microsoft owns them, that hopefully it'll get a lot better. I guess you never really know what's going on behind the curtain, whether it's the same. I imagine it's hard to be the exact same thing with Microsoft. I think Phil Spencer seems like he's done a lot for accessibility, not only to players but also to indie developers and to just really anybody who wants to get into the games industry. I think they've been really good with their ID at Xbox thing the past however many years, helping indie devs.
Yeah.
So it's hard to imagine somebody with that mindset would be that way, but
the unfortunate thing is that even if that is the case, the acquisition can't go through until like July at the earliest.
Oh.
Because it's like next fiscal year.
Gotcha.
So, and even then, like, there's still a lot that they need to do. Like, I know one of the studios under Activision Blizzard just like unionized their QA workers did. And so it'll be interesting to see what Microsoft's attitude will be toward that, assuming that the unionization trend continues throughout like the rest of the company.
Right.
But it's also kind of odd. Microsoft said something right when those accusations came out. Or not even when the accusations came out, but like when the lawsuit from the state of California came to them. And was like, yeah, we're reevaluating our relationship with Activision Blizzard.
And
they just bought them.
I remember seeing that. And then I think there was a quote directly from Phil Spencer. I guess I really should look it up because I don't want to butcher it or anything.
Phil Spencer's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just don't want to say something out of context. If I remember right, I thought it was just about him saying that, like, they never really know what's going on, so they want to, like, of course, take the right action and everything, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Activision.
I think the big win is it seems like Kotick, their CEO, is going to be out, which I mean is good, but also is not the only problem, I'm sure. But getting rid of a big root of it will probably help a lot.
Oh, I think it was essentially what you said. Evaluating all aspects of their relationship with Activision Blizzard and making ongoing proactive adjustments.
It's one hell of an adjustment. Fucking buying the company. That'd be like if I said I was reevaluating my relationship with needing to buy a new graphics card, and then I just bought it.
Went out and bought it.
But
that is true.
I hope it makes them a better company, but also, like, I don't know. There's still a long ways to go. So
yeah, there's a lot that has to happen, but hopefully it will happen. You always wish that it could be overnight, but you always know that it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Because there's just too many factors. There's the time it takes to do certain things. There's the people that are in the company that don't want the change, which is very, very sad that there's people that are in that mind space. But I guess it's just kind of a fact of life. But like you said, hopefully, I think it always seems like, I would say Nintendo is always top dog about kind of feedback and listening to people and doing the right thing. But then I would also say that Microsoft and Sony are also up there. They seem pretty good. Jeff Keighley's definitely the best in. If you don't know anything about the games industry, Jeff Keighley seems like a great dude. He was 100% behind. I don't know if he implemented it, but I know he was behind. Like, yeah, Blizzard's not gonna have any part in the Game Awards or anything.
Well,
this year
but he also like.
Good for you, Jeff. Way to.
He also like didn't publicly talk about it at all at the Game Awards.
That is true, yeah.
Which would have been a really good place to say something about that.
I think he had. I don't think he said anything directly about Activision, but he kind of made comments to innuendo towards it.
I guess, but I mean,
you could have. You could have directly called them out. And, yeah. It is a big thing, like we said. It's going to definitely take steps, but it would be nice if we started taking those steps.
Yeah. At least the CEO is probably out.
Yeah.
And speaking of motherfuckers that need to find new jobs, Dan, it's time to talk about Grayson Allen.
I'm ready about this. I fucking hate this dude. I hate him so much. It's like that the scene from Little Rascals where Darla starts reading the fake letter from Alfalfa that says, "Dear Darla, I hate your stinking guts." I'm gonna write that letter and I'm gonna send it to Grayson Allen. This dude is the epitome of asshole white boy who probably bullied everybody in high school and thought he was the shit and just does whatever he wants. If you don't know, you could probably just look up a compilation. There's definitely a compilation at this point.
There's many compilations
of Grayson Allen hard fouls or anything. This dude gets away with it. He's gotten away with it, I'm guessing, since high school, but to my extent, I know since college. That's when I started hating him. Was watching him when he used to play. He used to play at Duke, and I already hate Duke. Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K. He's a great coach. He seems like he's done great things, but a lot of the guys who come out of there seem like they're stuck on themselves, and I definitely think it's been Grayson Allen's niche since he got into the NBA to stay relevant is doing these hard fouls. The most recent one that happened was this past week. Alex Caruso, if you watch any NBA, you definitely know who Alex Caruso is. He sort of got his big name and big fame and everything when he was on the Lakers. He's a point guard. He's this goofy-looking dude who's, essentially, I think he's bald, but he's got that bald.
You just call Caruso ugly, dude? What the fuck? Goofy-looking dude.
I called him goofy-looking. I didn't call him ugly. There's plenty of women and dudes out there who love goofy-looking people. Okay, that's a fact. But everybody loves him because he seemed like this underdog guy who nobody had heard of. I should look up his age really quick. Bless you. Did you guys hear that? I was nice to Parker. He's 27. Alex Caruso's 27 years old. So if it was 2 or 3 years ago, probably would have been in 24, been about 24. So he would have been in the league for, if he came straight from college, probably 5 or 6 years. Or, no, I'm getting my math wrong. That'd be 2 or 3 years, I guess, if he went to college for all 4 years. So he didn't have a big name straight out of college or something in the NBA. But then he was producing. He had some really cool assists, really good dunks. And he would just pop off when his teammates or if he did really, really well. So everybody loves him. The Lakers made the really, really terrible PR, at least from the PR standpoint, and possibly if he would have kept it up, and it seems like he has on the Bulls, from a gameplay standpoint too. They traded him to Chicago. The LA Lakers did. So he's been playing on the Bulls, I think, at least this year. I don't know if he did last year too. But he was going for a layup after the Bulls had made a really good steal, and he got the ball passed back to him. He goes up for the layup. Grayson Allen goes up and looks like he kind of starts to pull down, or at least went for the block with one of his arms. And the really damning evidence is he goes up, to me, you can watch the clip and let me know if I'm wrong, but it looks like he takes his right arm, and you can see Caruso's body shift when he starts to put his right arm up and pull down, which means he had a pretty good chunk of force. And you can also tell from the big freaking thud that comes when Caruso hits the ground that there was definitely some force behind it. And this cheeky little fuck, Grayson Allen, is over on the sidelines chuckling the whole time. And they call him out on a flagrant 2, and I think they might have kicked him out of the game. I think he got an ejection for it.
He got ejected.
He's laughing the whole way to the locker room. He's smiling. He's chuckling. I hate this guy. I hate him so much.
There was no reason to use the second arm.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I think that's why they called it a flagrant 2. It's one thing to put your arm up for a block and kind of pull on a guy, but it's another thing to put that extra arm up and just go at his arms. At what point is Grayson Allen too much? At what point does he need to be out of the league? It's a safety thing at a certain point.
Well, here's an interesting thing that came out last night / this morning about it, Dan. Alex Caruso has a fractured wrist from that.
Yeah.
And his surgery is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
And I saw, what was it? Billy Donovan. He's the coach of the Bulls, right? He's like, yeah, there's no excuse for it. It's like, it was intentional. He wanted to hurt the guy, and he hurt the guy. And then Mike Budenholzer, the coach for the Bucks, who Grayson Allen plays for, is like, no, it wasn't intentional. It was a foul. Like, a foul is a foul.
Well, this is an opinion I've had for a while, and Budenholzer literally is the biggest scam artist in the entire NBA.
I'm pretty sure he coached the Bulls.
Never knows what's happening, ever.
I'll look him up real quick. Yeah, he really should have just not made a comment, to be honest, because now it makes him look. To me, it makes him look pretty bad.
Well, and then the Bucks Twitter account the other day tweets out a tweet, and it says, "Good morning," and it's just a picture of Grayson Allen.
That was the worst thing.
They instantly got ratioed and deleted the tweet. But
it's like a gif of him just eating a donut. It was terrible. I guess he didn't coach the Bulls. That's on me. He was an assistant coach on the Spurs, and then he was at the Hawks, and now since 2018 he's been coach for the Bucks. But yeah, I saw that. I need to look it up again because I looked it up this morning on Twitter. There's a Bulls account, Bulls Talk. I think it's like an NBC sports page for the Bull.
Some of the broadcast affiliates have pages like that.
It's verified. So the tweet's unavailable now. You can see it. It was the Grayson Allen one. And they quote retweeted it and said, "This is actually so bizarre though." And then they said I don't think it's doctored. It's a picture that says the Bucks are so weird, dude. That's the caption that they have for it, and it's the Bucks blocked them on Twitter.
Dude, I don't.
It's like, I don't know. It's just really petty stuff to do.
Yeah, and it's so sad because Giannis is such a likable guy that like I want to cheer for the Bucks, but then this shit happens, and I'm like, all right,
you can't.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a contractual thing. You can't like the
on.
Bucks. No, yeah, I used to like them. I watched them because they had a really cool team. They obviously had like the dynamic of they had Giannis, and obviously his brother. I think is it
Thanasis, I think is the one that plays with him.
So it's a really cool thing that they had that when they won that championship. They had brothers on the team, and then they also just have really, really good supporting players for him. Chris Middleton's super good player. I think it was what was it? There was a really cool tweet I think I saw before the game where the Bulls tweeted at Bobby Portis, who used to play for the Bulls, and they said, "Blink if you're in trouble, Bobby." And then he replied to them with a picture of Squidward with extremely red eyes from just keeping his eyes open, and it's like his haircut and beard and a Bulls jersey on it with him holding a NBA Finals trophy. So it's like, yeah, he's obviously not in trouble. The dude won a champ. He's all good. But that was a funny tweet. That's a good type of interaction. This type is not good. I just don't.
And also, the dynamic couldn't have been worse with Allen already being one of the most hated NBA players. And Caruso is probably, I would argue Caruso is one of the top 10 most likable players in the league.
Well, give it a few months, Parker. I believe that the Bucks meet back up with the Bulls in Chicago. So I'm sure something's going to happen.
It's going to be a big one.
If you don't listen to the podcast too often, well, number one, you should. Every Wednesday we've got an episode. But number two, make sure you listen back up in a few months. Keep it on your radar because I'm sure we will have more to talk about. Something's going to happen.
The last time we said this, Dan, was with the Jokic brothers.
Oh, that is true. Yeah,
and that already flew over.
I feel like
they're just crazy, man.
Well, but what was that situation? Wasn't it Jokic committed the foul?
It was Morris committed a hard foul, and then Jokic came back and
that was the back and forth thing. See, that's a different situation
because God.
oh, who was it? The Jokic was kind of likable. Like, he's a funny guy. He's got cool passes, especially for a big man. But I just don't think he was, like, beloved. To me, Caruso is this beloved underdog where I feel like this would be the same thing where if somebody would have really hardly fouled Jeremy Lin during Linsanity, the Knicks fans would have been on the court. They would have tore the guy apart. He would have been in shreds on the court. I feel like this is like that same situation. I guess that never happened, so we can't compare it. Just if it would have happened.
So Dan, here's a wild ride. I just checked back in on the Jokic brothers account out of curiosity.
Uh-oh. We have continuation?
So it's not really a continuation. Well, there is some that's a continuation of that. But one of my favorite ones is it's a tweet. It's a quote from Popeye Jones. And it says, if I had a daughter, I would want my daughter to bring Nikola Jokic home and say, hey, Dad, this is who I'm going to marry. I know she would be in good hands. Jokic Brothers quote tweets this and says, yes, Popeye Jones, say daughter love.
I know. Oh, my God.
Somebody tweeted NBA.com's MVP ladder. The top three were Giannis, KD, and Jokic at number 3. Jokic Brothers are obviously furious about this. Quote tweet it and say, 3 low, Nikola is 1, stop lie. Let me change rank, MVP, NBA 2022 ladder.
Let me change. Let the Jokic brothers, I'm starting the campaign for this now. Let the Jokic brothers decide the MVP. Give them their own show. They've got Manning cast with the Manning brothers for football. I would love to watch NBA games with
people. Must keep adding him to group chats because then they say, stop add me. And then in a separate tweet, stop add me to chat group.
They don't want anything to do with this, man. They're just doing what they want to do.
And now, when Markieff is talking about this injury that supposedly Jokic caused, they just keep retweeting it and say, he is lie, you are lie, and watch yourself. Oh, you still hurt crybaby from baby shove. You fake and baby cry. Stop fake injury or mess with again.
Yeah, I think that's the scary part is watch yourself or whatever they put.
Yeah.
That's intimidation. I don't think I'd try that. But yeah, it's to me this is hero versus villain. The Morris brothers and the Jokic situation was like I really didn't know if Markieff or Marcus were still in the NBA, to be honest with you. Those dudes are so played out, old, and they've been in the league forever. And Jokic is like kind of a fun guy to watch, but I don't think he's probably beloved in Denver, but I think Caruso is like admired by a lot of people across like the entire fan base. And
yeah,
Grayson Allen is hated by everybody. I don't know anybody who likes Grayson Allen.
This is a pretty black and white situation.
100%.
Like,
I really would have loved it if Mike Budenholzer would have just gone into that interview and he's like, yeah, Grayson definitely did that. Like, dude's off the team. The Budenholzer stock would have shot through the roof for me. I
would have reversed every comment I've ever said.
100%. Yeah, Budenholzer, if you're listening, just get rid of Grayson Allen. Call him a duty head in an interview, and we're all good.
If you don't, though, I'm still in my original belief that you should have been the only coach fired after a finals win.
Yeah.
My guy, man, that's the definition of doing nothing on the group project and still getting an A.
Yeah. You have all of the right pieces and you just kind of sit there.
Any time there was a coaching decision that he made, I was almost every time like, dude, what the fuck is he doing?
He had all of the puzzle pieces nearly put together. He had 2 left. He had the picture on the box, and he said, Giannis, please help me.
He had 2 pieces left he had to put in. And then he put them in the wrong spot, but Giannis fucking put them back for him anyway.
He took a hammer and glue and tried to put them on there.
Yeah, and
then everybody else on the team said, no.
That's not right, buddy.
Oh no.
But yeah, I mean, we're about halfway through the season now, Dan. Give me your pick. Who's winning the chip?
I'm gonna have to look up stats.
Wow,
I haven't looked up. I know bits and pieces, of course. I think that's my thing with all sports, is, I know bits and pieces, and if I see, like a highlight or something, I'll know, who it is and kind of what happens and all that stuff. But okay, so we got.
My brain says Golden State, but my heart says Phoenix. I want Phoenix to win it so bad.
They're at the top, aren't they? Western Conference, 36-9. Mm-hmm. Boy, the dichotomy between the Western and Eastern Conference is quite sad.
Yeah. Well, the West just has a few blowing everyone out, and the East is like real close.
I feel like conference finals might be better than finals this year.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who makes it.
Oh, who do I think's gonna win the finals?
Yeah.
Is that who's gonna win the chip? I thought it was Suns last year, and then I got disappointed. I can't say the Suns because they disappointed me this year too.
Why?
I had a bet when I had joined. I think it was FanDuel. It was opening night for NBA right when I got it. It's like, dude, you can put down $2 and you can win $200. I said, oh man, like that's really easy. I just need to pick the right game, and it's a steal. You know, there's got to be some blowouts on opening night. And there was Suns Nuggets. I said,
dude.
I said, oh man, they're coming off. I think it was actually a couple days before opening night, 2 or 3 days. So I was like, oh man, like they almost had the finals last year. You know, D-Book and CP3, they're cooking. They had a really, really good team. So, you know, this is a gimme. This is $200. And then DeAndre Ayton doesn't get his contract extended in time. I don't think he played in the first game. I don't even know if Chris Paul hit double digits in points that night or assists. D-Book might have had 20.
They looked real bad that first night, man.
So bad. So I don't think I can take him. I don't want the Warriors to win because of the whole super team phase that they went through, but they've got Klay Thompson back now. They're second in the West, but that was the majority of that first half of the season. I think they might have had a handful of games with Klay Thompson in the first half of the season, and now he's back and healthy. So I think it'd be really cool to see the Grizzlies win it with just Ja Morant,
dude, that would be
John
unreal.
Morant, Jaren Jackson.
If Ja Morant wins it and gets a Finals MVP, dude, that would be incredible.
I think he would go down as the best, if not top 5 point guards of all time if he did that.
Yeah, well, he's still got the rest of his career to do.
That is true.
And you know who somebody I work with said this, and it terrified me. But you know who Ja Morant's playing like, Dan?
Who?
Prime Derrick Rose.
Please no ACL there.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how there's stuff like that just absolutely shifted the rhythm and everything of the game?
Literally, yeah, it could have changed so much.
That dude was playing out of his mind. Imagine a super team with imagine the Lakers right now, but everybody's in their prime and as Derrick Rose instead of Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
That would have been insane to me. Or Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant goes to the Knicks to play with prime Derrick Rose. Or wait, I suppose he was on the Bulls still. He was probably with the Bulls.
He would have been a Bull for life, dude.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Yeah. You know, one time, Dan, I was running cross country, and then I hit a deer on my way to a meet. And some say that if that wouldn't have happened, I would have run a 5K in 13 minutes.
That shift your whole life.
That was my Derrick Rose ACL tear, actually.
I'm going to Google Maps right now, and I'm going to look up the distance between Rockwell City and Slifer.
What the hell is that?
This was what I was talking to you about when I ran into our old PE teacher. And he told me that he was pretty sure that a guy that we went to high school with who was just insane at cross country ran all the way from his house, where he lives with his wife now in Rockwell City, to his folks' house, which is in Slifer, Iowa. A very small town, essentially non-existent. So this is going to give us a rough estimate of how far he ran. I thought this was insane. Parker thought this was a normal Tuesday for the guy. Which it might be, but still to me it just blows my mind. Rockwell City to Slifer, Iowa. Dude, that's 17.8 miles to 18 miles that he ran. That's in a day.
Yeah.
That's just him running. That's just him running.
Have you ever heard of a marathon?
Yes, okay, but that's like a thing. Well, I guess maybe he's training for one. Okay. It's more realistic, I suppose, but it just blew my mind. I also thought it was farther. I thought it was like 20 or 30 miles.
Yeah.
But that is still a lot. I mean, 18
yeah, no,
miles,
I'm not like downplaying his achievement.
You're dogging on the guy, Parker. You're dogging on the guy.
Not,
you think
dude.
you could do this.
Like, literally, I couldn't. Literally, I couldn't.
I couldn't do it either. This kind of
It's because of my Derrick Rose moment, dude.
That was your Derrick Rose moment, yeah, hitting that deer.
That's the only reason I couldn't, though. If that wouldn't have happened, who knows? You know.
Now you go out of your way to hit all the deer in Truck Simulator.
That's my scapegoat forever, though, Dan. Is that I can just be like, oh, dude, but like if this wouldn't have happened.
Okay, well, my scapegoat was getting my appendix out my freshman year.
Oh, okay.
Sure, I feel like that's more realistic. I had to sit out like 4 meets. Couldn't practice for the first like month.
Come back.
I even
if you would have had the passion for the sport, Dan.
Oh no, definitely, yeah. I didn't go out my sophomore and junior year after that, but I did everything that year. I came off my 8th grade year and I ran I think like 13 or 14 for a 2 mile. I was like, okay, like I'm probably not gonna be varsity freshman year, but I bet like my sophomore or junior year I might have a chance. So I did running group that year, and then I'm gonna tell this story now. I love my mom and she's great. She definitely didn't do anything wrong. She felt bad for the summer or for like the start of the school year after it happened because she thought she had failed me as a mother, and I was like, I didn't think anything was wrong either, but. I wasn't even planning on going to urgent care. I told Mr. Nuss I was so glad I went out for cross country because my stomach was hurting for like a week before cross country practice. And I decided, I was like, well, I don't want to run like this. This is going to be terrible. I want to go to urgent care and get it checked out. But basically what happened was I think it was 2 or 3 days into that first week where I had started having pain. And I was like, it kind of hurts when I like get up and sit down. I was like, maybe it's something like in my stomach. There's pressure or something. And like something's irritated. So I told Mom, I was like, hey, like this kind of hurts. I was like, I think it might just be a stomach ache though. And she's like, oh, okay, well, do you still want to go to, I think we're going to Adventureland that day. And I said, no, I think I'm good. I'll just stay home today. And then I think the day or two after that, she's like, okay, guys, let's go to State Fair. I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, this thing's still killing me. I was like, I think I'm just going to stay home today. She's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I think I'll probably just stay at home. I don't need to eat Iowa's 50 different fried foods to agitate it even more. So, and then the day after that, you've really got to know the lore to get this one. Old Settlers Day Parade, Farmville, Iowa, was that next day. And she goes, is your stomach still bothering you? I said, yeah, I don't think I'll go to the parade this morning. And I'm pretty sure she made the executive decision. I was like, I don't want it to hurt still. So I was like, we can just wait to go to the doctor on Monday.
And when you missed Old Settlers Day.
That was the last straw. Jolene said, something's wrong with this guy. There's
we knew.
But she's like, no, we're not going to wait. I'm going to take you to urgent care today. She said, we'll go to the parade. It was like 8 or 9 in the morning, and then we'll come back and take you to urgent care. I said, okay. I said, it's going to be a expensive hospital bill for a stomach ache, but So then we went
Dan
there.
goes on Old Settlers Day.
The
hospital's gonna be slammed.
I took up all of Old Settlers Day for Dave and Jolene. Bless their hearts.
Jesus Christ.
Took me to the hospital. Took me to urgent care. Fun fact for you guys: I was very pee shy in high school. So
really glad you just decided to share that.
Yeah, I know. I've outed myself with the world now. The pee shy community is with me. But they wanted me to do a urine test. They just wanted me to go to the bathroom and pee in a cup. They're like, yeah, it's way more easy, less invasive. Otherwise, we're going to have to take your blood. And I said, you're probably going to have to take my blood, to be honest with you, Chief. And I went there, went to the bathroom. I couldn't go. I was in there for I think 5 minutes. I think I was probably about to go. I'm probably remembering it wrong, but I think I was probably about to go, and then the nurse knocked on the door and was like, are you okay? I was like, not anymore. I didn't actually say that. I was just like, no, I just can't go. Really pee shy. She's like, okay. And if you've never been to the hospital and they need a urine sample, what they do to you at that point to make you even more embarrassed is they give you kind of a jug thing. And you just have to hold it under the bed, and if you have to pee, you just pee. So everybody will know it then, because you're hearing that sound of the pee hitting the bottom of the jug. So I knew that definitely wasn't going to happen. I said, we should draw blood. They said, okay, we'll do it. So they drew my blood. If you've ever gotten your blood drawn, they tell you not to look, and then you look, which is what I did. I was fine. Josh, our older brother, has passed out from doing that before, but that's a story for another time. And then they made me drink this stuff, which makes it able for you to get a scan. It also makes you feel like you have to pee, which I already had to do, which was even worse. So I went and got the scan, went back to the room. They said, hey, your blood work's back. Your appendix is going to burst, really soon. So we're going to go get that taken out. I said, huh? I was like, I thought I had a stomach ache or something. Thought you guys were going to give me a magic pill. They said, nope. The anesthesiologist came in and talked to me, and they put me under and took that useless piece of crap out of my body. But they did say that if I wouldn't have gone in that day, it probably would have burst by the next day. So, mom felt very bad.
Then he would have had a real Derrick Rose moment there, Dan.
Yeah, that's even worse. I'm pretty sure. Did Logan's burst?
I don't remember.
I think he was the same situation as me. I think they said it was really inflamed and closed, but it didn't. But yeah, no, it's not very fun. If you ever have pain in your stomach and it lasts for a while, go get that checked out. Go to a doctor. Do something. But also take Tums before, because it could just be a stomach ache. So
true.
I was thinking about cross country. I was glad you brought it up, because I was like I kind of miss cross country. I don't really miss all the running, but I miss having a really, really good coach and people who did not take it as seriously as varsity did. And just being able to hang out with them on JV.
So true. I need to start running again, though, dude.
I do too.
I let myself stop too easily.
I think I made the mistake one time, and I want to clear it up. This is me backpedaling on my cancelable moment. Okay.
Oh God.
It's not actually cancelable. I think we were at the cross country meet, and I said, I was like, yeah, we could just do whatever we wanted on JV. Mr. Ness didn't really care, and I was like, well. Hold up. Let me rewind that really quick. Of course, if you're on varsity, you push yourself a lot, and the coach will probably push you a little bit more because everybody loves it if we make it to state. Even the JV guys, because then we get to go to state. But it was just, he definitely knew our level at JV, whether there was definitely people who didn't even really want to run. They went because their friends were out for cross country. But he was extremely, extremely, extremely good. He definitely has a gift for it of being able to tell how hard you want to push yourself and then pushing you further than that and making you better. I sincerely believe cross country is one of the only activities where it bettered myself, and he helped better me physically, but also mentally and as a person. So shout out Mr. Nuss.
Yeah, I get to now I can I get a good story. The funniest thing that ever happened when I was running with some motherfucker was it would be like right after fall 2018, I believe. Let me double check the year here. It was fall 2016. Jeez. But so anybody who knows anything knows that fall 2016 is the following fall after Harambe's tragic death.
Oh God.
And
timetable.
I'm running, and we're in pretty deep right now. Like, we're probably 2 miles into the 3.1 mile race. This dude comes up to me, just slaps me on the back. He's like, "Hey man, Dick's out for Harambe."
Oh God.
And then he ran ahead, and I never saw him again in my life.
What a man. What a hero, huh?
Just as mysteriously as he came, he left.
He left. Oh,
I hope Dick's out for Harambe guy's doing all right now, man.
Wow. Well, I think Dick's out for Harambe is a perfect place to cap this one off, huh?
Amen, dude.
Oh God, that whole situation. We need another Mimi situation. Well, no. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. It doesn't need to happen again. Nobody jump into a gorilla pit.
We need.
We
to
definitely
kill
don't need.
gorilla.
We definitely don't need that to happen. Don't let your kid. Don't throw your kid into a gorilla pit, please, and then throw us under the bus. We're not liable.
Dude, this is what they told me to do. It's stuck at the kids' table. They said we needed this.
And then they'll say, "Who?"
No, Dan. They know us.
They'll go. Those guys are fucked. And then we get hit with a lawsuit. We're gonna lose our $1 million content empire we have at that point.
True, yeah. Our
wives are
sponsorships.
our hot wives are gonna leave us. Oh gosh, just all downhill from here, huh?
Yeah, look at what you did.
I didn't.
All because you told us we needed another Harambe, Dan.
Okay, well, put this. If you're gonna use this in the court report, also put in that I said I'm sorry. Okay? Can we? It's gonna get me into heaven. It'll get me out of court.
Also in the court report, put in the thing about the Harambe-shaped Cheeto that just came up on Google Images when I googled Harambe again. That's just pretty funny.
Also, put into the court report that I hate broccoli. It's not pertinent to the case, but let it be known. Let it be on the record.
Also, put in the court report that I lost Newegg Shuffle again for the new graphics card. So
stenographer, I see the face that you're making in the court case. I don't appreciate it. Your job is to type out what we say. Do it.
Dan, what you did was just the court equivalent of the shut up and dribble. That
I do feel bad. That was the exact thought I had right after that. I feel bad. Let it be known in the court report. I'm very sorry, stenographer. This is really going to come up in a court case now.
Let it be known in the court report that this is the conclusion of episode. I thought I'd come up with something. You were trying to segue out. I thought I'd come up with something better. Actually, is what I thought it would be.
Thanks for listening again. I think I'm going to try and get. Hopefully, there will be a Facebook up by Wednesday.
Oh, you're gonna have to manage that one yourself, Dan.
Yeah, no, I'm all over that.
That's a bigger conversation for later, but
we'll talk about that. But episode 12. We appreciate you listening. You can subscribe or follow if you want a notification every Wednesday. Of course, as always, we appreciate a rating, a like, whatever the platform allows. We've also got the link tree now, so if you ever want to go to our Twitter page at Table for Kids, you can always click the link tree every Wednesday, and I promise you that the episode will be on your favorite platform, which should be linked along with all of our socials. So we're really coming along here at Stuck at the Kids Table. But that'll do it for episode 12. We'll see you next week.